Children think it's fun to be scared. I'm a child. This is following a reporter or a journalist, a ghostwriter, you idiot. And I respectfully disagree that I want to read this book, but I gave it 2 stars. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Love the library. Please, if you don't have a library card, go get one. It's like shopping for free. It's window shopping, but you get to bring it home and then bring it back for free. Howdy partners, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alex and I like to read a lot. It's all I care about, plus my cats. We're gonna start a little library themed reading vlog. I love doing these because A, it helps me support my local library. It helps me work through the inevitable stack of library books that I accumulate over my various stops during the week, but I have quite a stack. So I thought it would be fun for all of us, especially me. Gratuitous of me. Yeah, I have a huge stack of library books here and there's a hair in my mouth, but I'm gonna deal with it for you guys. I am excited about almost every single one of these, and I say almost because some of them were just like cover grabs and I don't really know, and also there is a nonfic in here, but it looks really cool. So I thought that I would start a library themed reading vlog. I will link another one of these that I've done up on the screen somewhere, but basically this is just a regular ass reading vlog, but I try to prioritize whatever books I have out from the library. So I thought about going through all of these and talking about them, but honestly I couldn't tell you what half of them are about. I just know that I'm looking forward to reading them, but let me show a couple of standouts, if you will, slash loose TBR that I have planned. Okay, I did just read the first chapter of What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. This is the 3rd book in their Sworn Soldier series. I've read the first 2, What Moves the Dead and What Feasts at Night. I listened to those via audio and I really enjoyed them, and honestly I'm pretty pumped to read this one physically. It's short, it's sweet, it's gonna be funny. I love T. Kingfisher. This one's only 172 pages, so I did read the first chapter just to kind of put it on my current reads list slash radar, but I need to get a couple of quickies in, and I think this will be a great one. So that one is definitely gonna get read pretty soon. The other one that I am excited about is this book called The Genius Bat: The Secret Life of the Only Flying Mammal by Yossi Yavel. This is a nonfiction and it's about bats, and one of my yes, oh my god, these pictures are so good. No spoilers, no spoilers. I really want to read more nonfiction just in general. I enjoy nonfiction, but I have veered away from the self-help kind of, not necessarily always self-help, but you know, how to be more productive or Atomic Habits. There's nothing, I enjoy those types of nonfiction books as well, but I'd like to read more educational nonfiction. I love memoirs as well, biographies, all that jazz. And I saw this on display at my library for in the new release section, and I was like, fucking love bats. Let's learn about some bats. So I'm gonna try to challenge myself to read this one. It's not super long either. It's less than 300 pages and the font is actually bigger than I thought it was. So I think if I just kind of keep this like a little coffee table type, bedside nightstand type of book, we can get through it. So this is another one that I would like to prioritize. Now, let me grab a couple that I just can't stop thinking about, and it is these 2. Loving a library, getting a sprayed edge book. Now, does this book need whatever is happening on this edge? I don't think so. But I didn't have to buy it to find out. The end paper's kind of slap though. So this one is Not Your Average Fairy Tale, Rings of Fate by Melissa de la Cruz. She's a barmaid who doesn't believe in fairy tales, and he's a prince cursed to live one. Great. I don't really need much more than that. Their perilous journey, blah, 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 blah. We look like we've got a fake dating situation, a princess. Oh, she's not a princess. She's a barmaid. He's the prince. This is giving like dark fantasy, fairy tale, romanticy vibes, and just something about it made me want to pick it up. And I actually saw it at Barnes & Noble and didn't purchase it, and then went to the library like that same day and they had it available to check out. So that seemed like fate in and of itself. So that's definitely high up on the list. And here we go again with the fucking thrillers, but Ghostwriter by Julie Clark, the Ghostwriter. I see this sprayed edge. I love that. that's really, really cool. And the fact that we're doing it on a thriller, I think, is fun. So this one is following a family after they go through, okay, let me just read the synopsis from the top. June 1975, the Taylor family shatters in a single night when two teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only surviving sibling, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusations that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows as his career as a horror writer skyrockets. Ghostwriter Olivia Dumas has spent her entire professional life hiding the fact she's the only child of Vincent Taylor. Now on the brink of financial ruin, she's offered a job to ghostwrite her father's last book. What she doesn't know, though, is that this project is another one of his lies, because it's not another horror novel he wants to write. After 50 years of silence, Vincent Taylor is finally ready to talk about what really happened that night in 1975. And a combination of the cover, the title, the sprayed edge, the synopsis, it being for free for me to try. I love the library. Please, if you don't have a library card, go get one. It's like shopping for free. It's window shopping, but you get to bring it home and then bring it back for free. It's what your tax dollars are paying for, not for free. So go take advantage. I'm really excited for this one. And this is my type of a thriller setup. I don't want his husband's wife. I know I talk about it all the time, but I also feel like I need to defend myself when I do pick up a thriller, because I talk a lot of shit about thrillers on this channel. So this is what I think the first week's stack is gonna be, and then next week we can probably start these ones, which I know vaguely what some of these are about, but I know I've tried a Christina Henry before and I didn't care for it, and I saw this one and it does have some good reviews, so I was interested. I, Medusa is a Greek mythology retelling or inspired by story that I have been seeing a lot of good reviews about. I am reading another Greek mythology inspired fantasy right now for a different reading vlog. This one will probably be last, TBH. Fallen City by Adrian Young. I know nothing about this except that I have been wanting to read from this author, and the edges actually did get me on this one. Let's see, in the great, oh yeah, and look at these, which you can see in these end papers are stunning. In the great walled city of Isara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making. Sign me the fuck up. But when a legionnaire falls in love with a magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. Politics and fated love. Sign me up. Okay, and then the last one is Isle in the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. And this is another author that I've been really interested in. And this is a sapphic romantasy. Two lovers endure centuries of endings in this romantasy of sapphic longing, medieval folklore, and a love that spans lifetimes. Okay, so this is kind of giving me Gay the Everlasting, or Gayer the Everlasting, and I'm into that because that was my favorite book of 2025. All right, we've got our work cut out for us as per usual, but I am going to grab this stack that we talked about. It is, for reference, Monday, February 23rd. I'm gonna film this for like the next 3 weeks and we'll see how it goes, because I am reading books and filming for another reading vlog, and just also I'm a big mood reader, like I know a lot of us are, so sticking to a TBR, it makes me feel something. It makes me feel something inside. And the other video that I'm filming is my coffin TBR draw, which may or may not be up at this time. I will link it if it is or if it isn't. But I'm excited for these library books and they deserve a chance. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just casually film 2 vlogs at once, like I can handle such a thing, and I will probably be back in a couple of days to update on what stalks the deep. I think I can finish this by tomorrow night, and then I think I'm gonna bring that's some Monday shit, huh? I'm gonna bring the Genius Bat to the couch with me, and then we're gonna put Ghostwriter and Rings of Fate on my little TBR shelf. So I'll check back in when I have an update, and we will think about what we're gonna pick next. Hey to you, but also, most importantly, to her. Yeah, you're so schmacky. Just a couple of girls here to talk about some books. That's really. You're just a little pea brain. You're just a little pea brain girl. So sweet, so petite. Very ladylike of you this evening. Okay, Mama's gonna talk about her bookies. Mama's gonna talk about her bookies. Ooh, I feel really high up and also not sure how this lighting is. Hello. It's been a couple of days. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Oh my God, that stank. Was that a fart or a burp? Whichever end it was, it did smell like a fart. So good job. Danny and I are clearly both of us here. Oh, hey, Quad. To talk about the book that I finished for this vlog and what is up next, as per usual. What else are the updates for? Except for me to hear my own fucking voice. I finished What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. This is the third book in the Sworn Soldier series, and I really enjoyed this one. Now, I've given all 3 of the books in this series so far 3 stars. T. Kingfisher is anywhere from like a 3. We got automatic feeders. Wait, listen. And then the pitter patter. Go ahead, guys. Good job. Craigie, go eat your dinner. Well, Craig might have to get gently placed in front of his bowl, but that's fine. I gotta watch Carl, otherwise he's gonna eat it all. So I've given all 3 of the books in this series so far 3 stars, and they're very good 3 stars. I range anywhere from 3 to like 4.55 stars with T. Kingfisher. I don't think I've ever given one of their books a 5-star, but Sword Heart was wildly close. Y'all know that I love that book so much. I will link the vlog that I read it in on the screen somewhere, and truly that book is what... Carl's gonna eat all the food. Truly, that book is what made me think that I may very well be okay with some cozy fantasy. But I love T. Kingfisher. I'm gonna read anything that they write. So this one is following Alex in America, and they are tasked with finding this friend of theirs, Denton. I think he was in the first book. Don't get me wrong if I'm wrong, because I might be. But I read the second one not too long ago, and I feel like he was in the first one. We pick up with them in America. They are in New England somewhere, I think. West Virginia, excuse me, close enough. And they find something in a mine while they are looking for Denton's cousin. Oh, okay, we're back. Camera died and I had to put Carl up in my husband's office so Craig could eat, because the territorialness of these cats is unimaginable. Like, I'm running a literal zoo. What were we talking about? What Stalks the Deep? I liked this one, and I just like the characters. The writing is a little too silly, goofy, breaking the fourth wall for my taste, and I think that's what ends up making me not give it any books in this series more than 3 stars. Some of T. Kingfisher's other books are not anywhere near as goofy silly as these are, so I do think that this is unique to the Sworn Soldier series, where we're mixing a certain type of humor with horror elements, but they're short, quick reads, and they're just fun, and I really enjoyed this one being in a mine. Very claustrophobic, very much the Descent vibes, but in a more comical way. Now the other one's trying to eat his food. Cash money. I run a zoo. T. Kingfisher, enjoyed. Another book from the library, read. So I still haven't cracked into The Genius Bat, which is my nonfiction pick for this reading vlog. I honestly don't know if I will start it for the weekend because I have a few other reads, but honestly, the text is really large. So I think, fuck already dog-eared this? Guys, it's a library book. Do it to your own books, but let me just fix that and press it down. I am looking forward to picking this one up. I just have quite a few other reads going on, so I'm gonna prioritize this for the weekend, I think. But what is calling me, which is crazy. Now, this is horror, but I think it's gonna give much more thriller vibes, which is fine, but we talked about this earlier. This is following a reporter or a journalist, a ghostwriter, you idiot. It's following a ghostwriter who is writing the last story that her father has to tell, and it's about the night that his whole family was murdered. So that's interesting to me. I just have been reading some, not heavier things, but I don't know, I've just been having trouble sitting down and just eating a book up, and that's probably just me being exhausted from life. But something about this is telling me that it's gonna bring me back to life. So I'm going to probably pick this one up, maybe tonight, maybe not, because I have a couple other reads that I want to finish, but these 2 books for sure are gonna be prioritized this weekend. It's Thursday, February 26th. TGIF, good lord, tomorrow I am ready for the weekend. I'm ready to sit on my behind and just read, which is all I wish to do with my time here on this earth. So I'll be back when I have another update for this library themed reading vlog. Hopefully I will have at least cracked this bad boy open and have a good update on this thriller, which is being touted as a horror, which I don't believe. Okay, TTYL. Hello there. It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
You're not a human, Master.
I'm not? Then how do you explain this? It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Compared to the side, I said I'm angry.
It's been a while. I do have a couple of updates for this vlog. I picked up a couple of library books and immediately knew that they were not for me. and it was unfortunately these two. So let's start with Rings of Fate by Melissa De La Cruz. I gave it about 30 pages, and it's just very much giving me like TikTok writing, like that series assistant to the villain, where it started as just like a series of ideas that got thrown into a book. It has that like kind of cringy banter. I don't know. Someone else will read this and love the banter, and it will be their favorite book. And I think that's, you know, I always say your mileage may vary, and that's the best part about reading, is that we can agree to disagree. And I respectfully disagree that I want to read this book. So it starts off with Erin, who runs a bar in this town, and she's so woe is me, but in the first 10 pages, she's getting marriage proposals and this, that, and the other thing. She's just like, I don't even know why. I'm just a girl, blah, blah, blah. And then we meet the prince, and he just sounds like not the type of main male character that I would be interested in. It was just very viscerally making me not want to read it within the first 30 pages, so we're just not gonna push it. I'm gonna return this to the library. I was gonna go today, but finally went to the back doctor. I don't know, I think I've complained about my back struggle, my back pain problems on this channel before, but finally found a doctor that was pretty good, and I'm on new meds, and I just don't have time to read books that aren't bringing me joy before I fall asleep, currently is where I'm at. So I don't know where I was going with that, TBH, but oh, okay. The meds are making me sleepy, so I went to go get my pickup orders for groceries and, you know, household items, and I was gonna go to the library and bop around, but I'm fighting for my life to not fall asleep right now, so we're just gonna do the library tomorrow, and maybe I'll bring you guys with me. Future me, think of that. I also started and immediately DNF'd The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. It could have been a wrong place, wrong time situation, but again, I think it was just like the writing felt choppy. It felt like things were just being like dropped into the first few pages that I don't know, I was just like having trouble getting into it from the get-go. And again, that could just be me. It could be, I don't know, it could be a million different things, but that, again, that's another great part about the library, is like I don't feel bad about this in any way, shape, or form. I'm just gonna bring these back and let somebody else enjoy them. So this one, I may come back to it someday, but I'm just definitely not feeling it right now. And as interesting as I thought the premise was, just the way it was starting off, it was just rubbing me the wrong way. I honestly don't. I should have updated when I initially DNF'd it, because now I couldn't tell you specifically what it was. I just know that these two were not doing it for me. So we're gonna return these to the library tomorrow. Now, I do still have this little stack right here to get through. And honestly, I think I'm gonna pick up this Christina Henry book and see if it's for me. And then I kind of want to just go in order this way. So I think the next one that we're gonna pick up is The Place Where They Buried Your Heart by Christina Henry. Old spook sounds so fun right now. So let us see what this is about. It was only a dare, an otherwise ordinary street in Chicago. There is a house, an abandoned house where once upon a time terrible things happened. The children who live on this block are told by their parents to stay away from that house. But of course, children don't listen. Children think it's fun to be scared. I'm a child. To dare each other to go inside. Jessie Campanelli did what many older sisters do and dared her little brother Paul. But unlike all the other kids who went inside that abandoned house, Paul didn't return. His two friends Jake and Richie said that the house ate Paul. Of course, adults don't believe that. Adults never believe what kids say. They thought someone kidnapped Paul or hurt him. They thought Paul had vanished in a way that was ordinary, explainable. The disappearance of her little brother broke Jessie's family apart in ways that would never be repaired. Jessie grew up, had a child of her own, and kept living on the same street where the house that ate her brother sat, crouched and waiting. And darkness seemed to spread out from that house, a darkness that was alive and hungry. Editing me make that spooky, creepy cool. Okay, this actually looks really fun and just like a silly, goofy, good time, something I can just kind of binge, and I'm excited. So I do have a few other current reads that are part of either a different vlog or just buddy reads in general, things that we're not talking about in this library themed reading vlog, but we are going to pick this one up. And now I am listening to an audiobook. It's The Stand by Stephen King, and technically I'm listening to my borrowed copy from Libby, so it is a library book if we feel like crocheting a little bit at some point today. But also I do own that one on my Kindle, so it's like 50-50 true. But as far as the physical books that we still have left from the library, I do think I am going to bring this little guy out and see if Christina Henry is for me. I don't know if I've ever read a Christina Henry book, TBH. Let's see what we got. Titles by Christina, the house that I think I tried the house that horror built and I didn't care for it, but I haven't tried any other ones. So I'm excited to give this one a go. I've been craving a little horror. I like this. I love haunted houses. It's kind of reminding me of the house on Neibolt Street from It, just like a very sentient kind of place that's haunted down to its foundation, to its literal bones, to its core. So I think this will be fun. Okay, a lot of uhs, a lot of ums. Shows that you're not prepared. Okay, with that update, I will be back. I will try to update a little bit more this weekend for this vlog. Me to me. We will get through, how long is this? This is barely 300 pages. I could probably get this done today, so I'm kind of hoping it just sucks me in and I forget everything else that's going on around me except reading this book. So I will be back hopefully soon when I have an update on the house, or the house that horror built, the place where they buried your heart. Good morning, pineapples. I completely dissociated last night and read this entire book in one sitting. And my review is gonna tell you one thing, and me having read this in one sitting is gonna tell you another thing. But let's just drink our coffee and let it be what it'll be, okay? So this book sucked me in. It is following our main character, Jessie, whose little brother gets eaten by the creepy McIntyre house down the street. And we follow Jessie as she deals with the initial loss of her brother, with trying to figure out what happened to him. Into her adult years, she stays to kind of like keep guard over the house and almost is still kind of waiting for Paul. And I really liked this. I gave it a 3-star on Goodreads and a 3.5, I think, on Storygraph. And I feel pretty good about that. I don't know if I will rush to read anything else by Christina Henry, but I just love a good haunted house story. I thought this one was creepy. Pacing was a little weird and the characters were a little weird. Like, the book was too short, I think, to have impactful introductions and departures of certain characters. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it seemed that some characters were just there for literary devices and to just kind of move the plot forward in a certain direction without really extrapolating on it. I'm really thinking about Alex, his character in this. But overall, I enjoyed this. It was a really quick read. I love to binge a book and I haven't done that in a long time. So that is another library book down for this vlog. I feel like I should have more to say about this, but it's really just a goofy little haunted house book. It's fun. It's a quick read. It's not like the most deep thing that I've ever read. You know how some horror really has like an underlying message. I did like the way that this ended. I thought it was sweet, but also the ending was a little bit rushed. So that's that. I am not in the library, so I don't know what my next pickup is gonna be. I feel like we talked about it yesterday. I'm trying to think of what I have over there. Maybe Isles of the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. We could go that route. We could go that route. So I will get up in a little bit here after I have some more coffee and go get the next library book, get her started, and then at least update of what I pick, where it's going, where this vlog is going, if it will ever end. I don't think it will. One more. How many books have I read in this vlog? Maybe like 4, which is pretty good over a couple of weeks, considering that I'm filming other things at the same time. I wasn't ready to do this update. I didn't collect my thoughts nearly enough, but whatever. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. So I'll be back when I have the next book selected, when I have started it, when I have a couple of thoughts to throw at you guys. Hello. It has been quite a few days, but I have also quite a few updates. And then I think we're gonna close this little vloggy vlog so I can do something else this weekend. But it is now easily 3 to 4 weeks after I started this vlog is what it feels like. That might be aggressive, but I did finish 3 library books since the last time that we chatted. So the first one is A Box Full of Darkness by Simone St. James. And this is an author that I have read almost everything from and typically have enjoyed just for the fun of it. They're, you know, it's a thriller. There's not a lot more to them, but they're really fun. And I do think she builds some good tension, but this one is probably my least favorite that I've read by her so far. It felt like I had more questions than answers by the end of it. And in this one, we're following 3 siblings, Dodie, Violet, and their brother Vale. First 2 are sisters, and the third is a boy, Vale. And they have this connection to their childhood home, and they feel it calling to them because their little brother Ben disappeared during a game of hide and seek, and they all feel guilty for letting their little brother down. And then they all go back to the house to try to figure out what happened to him. And in typical Simone St. James fashion, it does have a thread of supernatural, but this one took it to a level that I don't think she was prepared to write. It just was all over the place. It didn't make any sense, and the siblings did not like each other. Their banter was really weird, very stiff. I honestly don't know if I will continue reading Simone St. James. If anything, I'm certainly just gonna borrow them from the library from now on, which I did borrow this on Libby. I read it on my Kindle, but I gave it 2 stars. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It is what it is and it was what it was. On to the next. So I also finished I, Medusa by Ayana Gray, and I don't think I even got a chance to like show you guys this one before I had to bring it back to the library, but I really enjoyed this. It was a very interesting and infuriating take on the lore and mythology of Medusa and the Gorgons, and a lot of it was really about the power of womanhood and standing up for yourself and not allowing others to make you into a monster that you may or may not be, and to treat you a way that you do not want to be treated. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I'm not doing justice to any of these books right now, but I had to finish this vlog. So I, Medusa is following the main character, Medusa, and her 2 sisters as they navigate the world of relationship and sex and immortality, and all of these things kind of come to a head when we introduce one of the deities, Poseidon, who has his sights set on things that he should not, and that is Medusa. So this is a very, very creative interpretation of the classic lore, and that's why I think I liked it. It also featured Medusa as a black character. She had locks, and it was a really important part of her identity, and I thought that was an incredible interpretation and an incredible way to incorporate the author's own background, I think, and things that she was familiar with, and something that I'm familiar with and is special to my background, and those 2 things came together really beautifully, and I really enjoyed it. So that was that one. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about, even though I am in the middle of something else currently, we're just going to leave that for now, but the last one that I want to talk about is And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. So this is the second in the Heartstrings. I'm hoping the couple that I think is coming, but this is like a little interconnected romance series by B.K. Borison. I loved First Time Caller. That was a 5-star for me, and I really enjoyed this one too. I did listen to the majority of it via audio, and then I read probably the last like 25% on my Kindle. I loved this. The couple in this one is Jackson and Delilah, and they end up getting paired. The radio station and the TV station want to send them to this remote cabin out in Western Maryland to stay in this really cute, cozy bed and breakfast cabin together. Like, what could possibly happen with this setup, you know? But I eat that shit up. And the reason that they're going out there is to combine forces between the TV station and the radio station to cover this huge storm, this huge blizzard that has never hit the state. Nothing they've ever seen before, and they want to increase the ratings and stuff. Delilah and Jackson have interacted in the past, which loosely does come up in the first book. Again, with these interconnected romance series, you typically don't have to read them in order, but I don't know whose OCD is able to handle that. Mine is not. So they do interact, and it kind of like gives you backstory that they share the parking lot, the radio station and the TV station, and they have been putting notes on each other's cars, and Jackson typically puts notes on her car that she has parked in his spot, and I just thought they were the cutest little couple. Their banter was really good. The spice was honestly like a very small amount of this and done very well. I do think these books run a little bit long. They end up kind of dragging in the middle for me, but overall I really enjoyed this one too. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't quite as viscerally good to me as First Time Caller was, but I do really like this author, and I wanted to read the books that she has that are themed like the seasons. There's like Love Light Farms and something or other. But Allie told me she's read at least one of those out of that little series, and to not ruin the author for me. So I am just gonna stick around for whatever new things that this author comes out with. But with that, we gotta close this down. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, hello, my name is Alex. I love to read and pet cats. Come join me, like, subscribe, and if you've made it to the end of this video, leave me me a snake emoji for Imedusa because I do think that that book deserves more people reading it. It only has like 2,500 ratings on Goodreads, and I want you guys to read it because I think it was really good. Okay, with that, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll be talking less with my hands, but probably not. So thank you again if you watched, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.